Hey, what's up you guys, it's Texumer talking to you here, and today I want to talk about all the improvements that we might see on the M1X MacBook Pro's GPU performance. This might happen because last week we saw much big improvements and needed improvements to the GPU performance of the A15, mainly on the iPhone Pros because of the extra core. Now, the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max feature 5 GPU cores instead of 4. This represents a 40% jump when compared to the normal A15 present on the iPhone 13s, and a 55% jump when compared to the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max with the A14s. But before we go deep into this matter, roll the intro. So, the A15, a very powerful processor or chip, don't you think? Yeah. Now we're getting the most powerful chip from Apple, the M1X MacBook Pros, together with the M1X chip. This M1X chip will be so powerful that we are expecting it to have 16 GPU cores and 32 GPU cores and 10 CPU cores, with 8 high-performance cores and 2 high-efficiency cores. But today I'm not here to talk about the CPU improvements because it's gonna use the same cores as the M1, so we might have a little bit of a jump in terms of CPU performance, or a big jump, but it will use the same A14 cores because it's an M1X, not an M2. We should expect a big CPU improvement next year on the M2, although the A15 was only a 12% jump on CPU when compared to the A14, so it wasn't that big of a jump, but it's a jump nonetheless. The M1X MacBook Pros will feature a very big improvement on the GPU power, because last year's M1 had a good GPU for its price, not an amazing one, so Apple now needs to improve it a lot to be used on a Pro laptop, to video edit, to photo edit, and to do renders and all of that stuff. That's why a GPU is needed, and of course a little bit of gaming if you need to. But these M1X MacBook Pros will have to improve a lot in terms of GPU, and we have seen the first steps to that. On the A15, on the Pros of course, we're now seeing 5 GPU cores. And with this extra GPU core, we are seeing 40% more improvements over the normal A15. So now we are considering the fact that maybe the 16 core and 32 core will be even further apart in terms of performance. Maybe the 32 core GPU will be so powerful when compared to the 16 core that it will be worth it to pay even if you don't want to use it, because it will future-proof your device. So the 16 core GPU from the M1X is supposed to have, I don't know, maybe around 51,000 of score when compared to the 21,000 of the M1. That's more than 100% jump, so around 131% of a jump in terms of improvement. Now we are expecting even more from the M1X results of the 32 GPU core, because if you are doubling the cores from the M1 in terms of GPU and they are even better, imagine if you quadruple them. You might see an even bigger jump. Of course, you can't multiply the score you have on the M1 by 4, because you can't multiply the score you have on the M1 by 3 or by 2, in this case by 3 or by 4, and you only got like a 2 point something in terms of the M1 to the M1X, which is, all of this is rumored, take all of this with speculation and a grain of salt. But we should expect around 81,000 on this 32 core GPU on the M1X, and that's just ridiculous. Consider that this is all Geekbench metal scores, but this just indicates the fact that the M1X MacBook Pro's GPU performance will be insane, rivaling PC gaming rigs and of course iMac Pros. So let's see if it can even battle with the Mac Pro. But these GPU performance improvements will come with a lot of other things, just like new redesigns, mini LED displays, even bigger battery life, and of course new keyboards, new displays, smaller bezels, new design, and more I/O. All of these will be new for exactly probably the same price. I don't think that Apple will make the price of a 16-inch MacBook Pro even higher, because I think that's pretty high right now. $2,000 should be the price that the 16-inch will launch, of $2,100, $2,200. It will probably launch with the same price because that's tradition, and we have seen the same thing happen with the rest of the lineup. The M1 iMac, the M1 MacBook Pro, the M1 MacBook Air, and the Mac Mini has even gone down in price. Of course, we will see an M1X Mac Mini. This M1X Mac Mini will have the same GPU performance and availability as the other MacBook Pros. 16-inch will have 16 and 32 cores probably, and the 14-inch We are not sure if you'll get 32-core option, but surely the M1X Mac Mini and the M1X MacBook Pro 16-inch will get this 32-core option, which will be huge and insane. And I'm very excited to see what can Apple improve in terms of GPU. We'll be able to game on our Macs finally. Of course, we don't run x86, so we won't be able to play those games like that. We have to run them on a virtual machine. But imagine, this type of performance on a laptop is just insane, and I'm very excited to see what will happen. Right now, what will you choose? Will you choose the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the 32-core, or you're going to go for the base model, which is the 14-inch with the 16-core? What are you going to choose? Please do not take this as confirmed. These are just speculations, rumors. Apple could launch very different types of specifications and prices, but right now, with the leaks we have, what are your options? What will you choose, and what's your favorite type of deal? Are you going for the M1X Mac Mini and go for the highest performance computer for the lowest price, or are you going for the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M1X with just 16 cores or 32 cores even, or are you going for the most expensive M1X machine and wait for that will launch with the M1X iMac? What's your choice? Probably the M1X iMac, by the way, won't have as much as performance as we think, because the Mac Pros will have insane performance, and as we see in the M1 iMac, it's the same performance as the M1 MacBook Pro and Mac Mini. So which one will you choose? Tell me in the comments down below. And before I end this video, I want to tell you that I've sold my iPhone 12 Pro. Right now, I'm filming with my iPhone 12 Pro Max from my mother, and I've sold the 12 Pro for a good deal, of course. And by the way, I'm keeping the 13 Pro Max. So expect the unboxing, reviews, and all of those comparisons. I will keep this new iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I think that's pretty cool. And I will show you Friday. Today is Monday, so 1 week to go. 5 days to be precise. But don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Go down below and turn on the notification bell. Follow my social networks, Twitter and Instagram. This was Sexumer talking to you here. Bye.